When I first got here, a lot of yeses meant no and a lot of no's meant yes. It's not the cost of living, it's your lifestyle. I think the biggest challenge for me in the Philippines is...
Hi, please tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Darius Slade. I'm originally from Austin, Texas, but I moved here in Iloilo from Lacey, Washington, near the capital of Olympia.
Okay, how long have you been here?
I've been here a little over 2 years. I got here September of 2022.
Okay, and tell me what brought you to the Philippines initially?
Well, it was right after COVID. In 2020, I had, actually 2018, I had planned to move to Hanoi, Vietnam. Mm-hmm. But as a result of COVID and the change in the visa policy, I just decided to just come to, the Philippines until I figure out what to do next.
Yeah. What do you like so far about Iloilo? Some of your favorite things about this place?
Let's see. Well, it's a nice, relatively clean, it's an evolving kind of community, lots of building. The people are, they're very, Filipinos are nice in general. Iloilo is a little more conservative, say, compared to, Manila or Cebu. And, I like the weather. I'm a fried chicken fiend, so they have my fried chicken here that I like. It's walkable. It's a walkable city. I walk everywhere. And that's something I really appreciate. So I can get around. The people are nice. Lots of coffee shops. I used to work in Starbucks, so I'm a little particular about my coffee.
Yeah.
And, but the people, the festive facility here, it's nice. It's a nice, relatively quiet, but it's not going to be that way forever because it's growing.
Becoming popular, right?
Yeah. And I think, I hope it works out. I hope it works at lots of call centers here. But it's going to be a challenge, I think, in terms of the future.
I noticed even like just where we are right now, there's a lot of buildings going up. I don't know if they're going up, but they look brand new. A lot of residential and business. This reminds me of like IT Park in City City.
Exactly. My guess of it is, the money was allocated or budgeted before COVID and then, they got to get it built. And but I don't know if the demand is still here. That was, what I see is in the 2 years I've been here, I've seen a big reduction in the number of Chinese and Koreans. Yeah. This is called K-Town.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I don't see the Koreans that I saw here, and that was a big portion of their, tourism, population was the Koreans and Chinese. So.
Yeah, I've been here a couple weeks and I haven't seen a single Korean person. I mean, you could tell a difference if you travel long enough, right? So,
yeah. Well, when I first arrived, it was pretty significant. Okay. And now it's few and far between for sure.
Yeah.
So.
All right. And what about some dislikes? No place is perfect, right? So what are some things that could be better for you here?
Well, it's not as much dislike as it is. I really enjoyed Vietnam. I've had nothing but, I've got a lot of good friends there in Vietnam. Yeah. I've built relationships with people there and both in Ho Chi Minh and in Hanoi and Ha Long Bay. Yeah. I have some really good friends in a little town called Vinh, which is the home of Ho Chi Minh, and it's that was kind of my first connection. And so, I have friends and I think the biggest challenge for me in the Philippines is the poverty.
Yes.
And there's nothing that I can do about it. I hate to, I meet people and I say, what's the opposite of being, poor? And they say rich. And I said, no, enough, having enough. And I see so many people who don't have enough here. And from children on to, elderly, it's really hard to see that on a day-to-day. And I walk everywhere. I go to every barangay I go, and I see the people struggling. They smile and that's a coping mechanism. But it's just, it's hard to watch it and not be able to have some impact. At least for me, I'd like to be able to have an impact and, try to influence it, but there's nothing I can do. It's, that's a hard thing to observe. And there's poverty all over the world. I mean, there's nothing unique about that. I think what's unique to me is just not being able to influence it in any way, shape, or form. And that's hard on me as a person.
Okay, I see. What about like relationships? And are you dating? Are you single?
Yeah, I have a relationship. It's kind of challenged right now because I'm going to have to leave. She's a very good person. I have no complaints about that, but, I have some medical issues and, life can be that way sometimes. Yeah. So, but, the people are, she's nice. The people are nice. The people are wonderful, but, it didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious that a lot of people do come here for the dating scene and the women. What do you think about all that?
Well, I'm 66, and yeah, I'm 66. Well, I feel it sometimes. Okay. But, that's just not, you look at my card, it's, I'd like to have conversation. I'm not chasing women, that's those.
Women chase you, huh?
You didn't meet me running, but, it's just not my thing. I like relationships. I like meeting people. I'm not knocking those who come here, and as long as they're adults and then do what they want to do, but that's just not my thing. If I meet somebody nice, that's a great thing, but I'm not a hunter. I'm not looking for prey.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Cause, a lot of people do come to different, like relationship styles and dynamics in this country, I guess.
Yeah, but that's a need that I guess is unique to me. I don't have it. I've never had a problem dating someone or finding someone. So, it's not a big deal, but I'm not knocking it.
It's not your priority.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's it. That's not a priority. Okay. And I like the way that sounds. Yeah. If I meet somebody nice or interesting, yeah, that's great. But, I'm good. Yeah. I'm self-sufficient.
Good, man. What about the expat community here? Do you see a lot of other Americans and foreigners?
There are quite a few. Where I live, there's not a rotation, but there's an influx of coming and going. But there are some African American, men. In fact, that's where I just came from. I had some coffee. A friend of mine had some medical, issues. And so we connect up. I've had a couple of brothers here that have passed away since I've been here. And so that's a reminder that, enjoy the day,
Okay.
So, but yeah, there's a small community. They tend to be to themselves. When I see someone, I introduce myself, and sometimes we connect, sometimes we don't.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, when I looked at you, I said, he looks really familiar. And then when you took your hat off, I said, that's gotta be Alex.
I know, right? Cause I'm very obvious without my hat, but it's hot out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, I love warm weather. And that's another thing I really enjoy.
Yeah, I noticed you got long sleeves on.
Yeah.
Like it's from Texas,
I'm from Texas. I like I was in the Army for almost 12 years, and I spent time in Alaska, and I got so cold, I don't ever want to be that cold.
Oh, yeah.
And coming from Seattle area, it's constantly rainy, and here it's, it threw me off for a while because when it's overcast here, or when it's overcast in, near Seattle, it's cold. It's damn cold. But here, it's still warm.
It don't matter, right?
So it don't really matter. So I wear this, mostly it's sunscreen. And so, being aware of that. And, but yeah, I enjoy walking and going and meeting people. I like I don't know if you've had the, Enasal, the barbecue chicken. I love that. I try every chance I get. I try to stay with known tributaries because I've eaten at some places where I suffered dearly.
Yeah.
And so I try to stay with places I know, but then, it's a good community. It's a good community. It's a conservative, way more conservative than say Manila or even Cebu. So that's in play. I think for me, one of the challenges is access to healthcare. There's a lot of hospitals, but, they're challenging in terms of my needs or I think a foreigner's needs or expectations. But, that's just what it is. I think that's a opportunity for employment. I was a healthcare administrator in the U.S. And so, I know what I'm looking for, and it's difficult to find here.
And cost of living, a lot of people think they can live here for like $1,000 a month. What do you think for a simple person to get enough?
I think it's possible. It depends. It's not the cost of living, it's your lifestyle. You can easily find a place for rent for less than $500 a month. And then you throw your you probably could do $500 with utilities. And then, I'm not a drinker. I'm not a smoker. I'm not a chaser. So, my money is spent on, popcorn and fried chicken, to be honest with you. And so I don't spend a lot of money. I think one of the challenges to back up here is you have to learn I had to learn how to manage the physical aspect of money in terms of you're using getting your Western Union or your GCash. One of my big lessons was, I used GCash when I first came and I put too much money in one mechanism, and then it didn't work. Like sometimes GCash doesn't work. Okay. And then I had all my money in GCash and I was like, oh heck, and then transferring money, that's it. It's just, you have to learn how to do that. And that depends on your lifestyle too. So that's a good point, it was a learning experience for me. And, I've used things like, a Wise, and I use my bank in the U.S. I use the, GCash. So it's a lot of and for me in the beginning, it was a lot of manipulation learning. And then how much cash to have on hand. And I mean, there's a lot of those little things that I didn't anticipate, but once you get it down, it's pretty much okay.
All right. And lastly, so you can have your drink.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
What advice do you give people that have never been here for the first time?
Be flexible. Be open to, not really understanding. I mean, I think it's important, even though people are speaking English, be suspect that you're really comprehending what each other is saying to each other, because it's not that somebody is not acting in good faith. It's just they have a different context and their meanings. I mean, when I first got here, a lot of yeses meant no and a lot of no's meant yes. And so it's just a different context. And so what I do, my approach to it is go, can you repeat that to me? And I try to reduce things to a yes or no. And not that that's 100% correct either, but at least I got a baseline, and unfortunately my experience was I like to build things, or, I'm a handyman kind of person. And so I go to Ace Hardware, and having worked at Home Depot for a while, I know what I'm looking for. And a lot of folks that work in the Home Depots they don't know their product. So their first response is, no, we don't have it, not available. Yeah. And then you learn, at least I learned, you go in, oh, there it is. Because either they don't understand or I can't communicate it in a way that they understand. So I've just learned to just kind of do my own research.
Or even just like different terminology for the same thing that you might think.
Yes. Oh, one of my favorite interesting interactions was to go to the SNR, which is like a Costco. And then you buy a pizza by the slice, and I said, I want a pepperoni slice, and they contract and say pep slice. And I go, no, I want a pepperoni slice. And they say, yeah, pep slice. And I said, I don't know what pep slice is. That's what I thought. I thought it was a Pepsi. And I was like, no, I want a slice of pepperoni. Yeah, pep slice. And I said, because they contract. And so they do that. That's a natural thing, but it takes you a while to figure it out.
Yeah, for me it was like, wait a while, sir. And to me, I'm like, how long is a while? Right? Initially I thought it was going to extend a period of time, right? And here, wait a while, wait a second.
Yeah. Or not available means either we don't want to sell it to you right now, or we don't have it, or you're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
And I don't mind waiting. Like I go to, Jollibee's, and they cook their what is it? The mango peach pie, but they don't have them in advance. So instead of telling me wait 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever the case may be, they'll just say not available. Yeah. And I go, well, wait a minute. I just see there. Yeah. But what they meant was wait or something fresh. McDonald's is fresh up, meaning straight out off the grill or I kept saying, what was it? New up. No, it's not fresh up. It's new up. Okay. And I was saying, I want my burger fresh. And they would, then give me an old one. Or I say, I want something without mayo. And they would say plain.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just like that. And I said, no, I want the lettuce and tomato. I just don't want the mayo. Well, you're plain. I'm like, no.
And you literally have to be exactly like that. Literal, right?
Yes.
Explain everything because if I say no veggies, this is going to be very direct because over here they don't understand innuendos or slang or the way we're accustomed to perhaps saying some stuff.
And I have to. My jokes are no good here.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have to be very careful when I joke because some people are offended because I'm what I think is funny, they think is being disrespectful to them. So I recognize that. It's just. Sometimes I see something funny. I have a lot of sarcasm and they don't, well, at least the people I've encountered, they don't do sarcasm very well, and so that's hard for me because I enjoy my sarcasm.
We're very similar when it comes to that. All right. Well, thank you so much, man. I really
All right, man. Well, Alex,
it
was a pleasure, man. It was a real pleasure. Thank you.
And that was DJ. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think of his experiences and his thoughts about life in the Philippines. Anything you want to share. If you take the time to write it, I'll take the time to respond. And if you enjoyed that video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time.